you guys ready to hear the first poet in our slam? You know what? I think that passes. I think that passes muster for enough enthusiasm. Alright, so that means, hang on, I'm going to check the list real quick. Carl Eliezer, you are on deck, but I want you to clap as though you were related to this person for Samsack.
Love you, baby.
Bye bye.
This is a lung. Watch how it fills and empties like a classroom or a glass of water. Watch it balloon out when whispered into. Watch it fall flat when abandoned. The schoolhouse leveled to dust without children inside. The glass of water evaporating. This is your friend. Watch how his smile fills you like a tank of gas, driving fast down a dead highway, his hand resting on yours for slightly too long. When your hand grips back, watch as your Yankees cap fills with blood like a glass room or a class on water. No, he is not your friend anymore because you have hands and because you use them. This is a knife. Watch how it opens your skin like a car door. A sea of red children spilling out your wrist when the school bell rings. How it holds the light like a hand for slightly too long. How unlike you, it neither fills nor empties. How when it smiles, you know not to grip back.
Alright everybody, that was Samsack. Clap if you like feeling. Crumb Snatcher put his hood on. That's not a euphemism. I really need to. Okay. Yeah! Doesn't get any cuter. Judges, you need to be so much faster than that. Flag if you're. We got some flag. Oh, hey, you know what?
If you don't hurry.
I'm gonna help it. You won't push. Alright. So the first score I have for you all to hear tonight is an 8.8. How do you feel about that, audience? You can do better. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Crumb. So fun. And then I have a 7.6 for Samsack. How do you feel about that? And then I have a 7.0 for Samsack. Come on! People are haters! And then I have a 7.0 for Samsack. Wow! And then I have a 6.9 for Samsack. You're gonna burn the building down! Alright, so I'm gonna let you guys know we have the notes enunciate and confusing.
What was the first one?
An 8.8. Some confusing metaphors made them link back to each other. Like you, it neither fills nor empties, redeemed it at the end. Visual power! Somebody said even visual power! Who thinks it did? Woo! Okay, how do you feel? 21.6. A 21.6%. Alright, Pat Comics, you are on deck. But next up to the stage, I want you to clap as though this person saved your baby from a bus.
Yes!
For Carl Eliezer.
I have a feeling this event is going to traumatize me.
That's what art is for.
Alright, so this comes from a series of poems about a family I've been writing for a bit now. And this is Ben. Every so often, I have this feeling I call silver. It feels like a swooshing movement that is happening in front of me, so that I feel like I am involved, spinning and rolling inwards when I am standing still and tall. And the last time it happened, I remembered. No images or time or whatever, but my stomach. A sudden knowing that I was not my parents. That previous to silver, there is no way to say I or you. Before that, we just is. The crib. The fan set to high. The skylight and warmness in front of the Milky Way. And then, a warmness moves, but it's not true. And shrink. Warmness said goodnight, it's not true. That warmness is leaving, and silver comes. That warmness is not, and I was for the first time.
Alright, everybody, that was Carl. Hey, Carl, this is your first time at the Lit Slam? Alright, you better be flagging. We got somebody in the back. Okay. While we're doing this, Carl, can you tell me how to pronounce your name? Elsesser. My sincerest apologies, Carl Elsesser. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're humoring me. That's fantastic. He's just darting about like a bee in the back. Come on, Dennis! It's totally fine. We're waiting for you. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, okay. No. We can. He might. Alex, thank you. Alex might not be the most efficient person, but I feel like having a bee in my as my co-host. Do you guys like that there's a bee with no pants on as my co-host? Yeah! I feel like that should just keep happening. Bees don't have pants! Alright, so Alex, you're here by not allowed to wear pants for the rest of the night. Congratulations. I have a 7.1. How do you feel about that? I have an 8.0. What do we feel about? A 6.9? Which is dirty, by the way. A 6.8. And an 8.0. Kind favor of actually filling out your forms. That would make it a little bit easier. Clever. Could use more personality. Whoa. Fluid and substantial. Hey, with a 6.8. You got a score? 22.0. 22.0 for Carl. Excellent. Frustrate. Javier Zamora, you are on deck, but right now I want you to clap like this person actually has a Superman suit under his clothing. For Pat Thomas.
I got this book and it may be a little problem, but I'm going to read the words that it's got written inside. Life is a funny little thing, not so little, yet still rather funny. Lived by so many strange creatures, ourselves included in the mass wobbling balance, that we have coined life. The queerest of the bunch seems to be the species that fuck like rabbits, reproduce like bacteria, at a rate in which the world as we know it begins to wobble further from its balance. But once again, this is the world that we have created, making it so, all revolving around the ever-satisfying beast. These creatures that continue to define, claim facts, that is right, what is wrong. A simple dose viewing of the everyday going on, showing simple evidence, simple sight of strange species we are, always with something to prove. To whom? Who knows? An initial ego, the one who pushes these thoughts into existence. By golly, who can say for sure? Some of these strange characters continue to over-philosophize some certain text. Hey, who am I to say different? I'm only observing. Some write new text. The flow is dropping away from me. Not that it was ever there. Lost in my train of thought. Been having trouble when it comes pen to paper.
Yeah.
Alright, everybody, that was Pat Thomas. Hey, is this your first time slamming with us?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Another first timer. So while my Bumblebee co-host buzzes about, oh, got one. I'm getting better at this than you, Alex. It's sad.
What are you talking about?
I'm not gonna wear no pants. Though. Sorry. So while Alex is doing that, let me just let you all know the way this slam works is we do 1-minute poems, and then 2-minute poems, and then 3-minute poems. As soon as you start talking on stage, we call this the first utterance rule. That means your time starts.
Get your butt out of my way.
That just lets you know how to handle time penalties and that sort of thing. We do deduct points if you go more than 10 seconds over our time.
We will tell you.
And we will let you know. So, I have a 6.0 for Pat Thomas. How do you feel about that, audience? I have a 6.1. Judges, don't let them fuck me.
Come on.
I have a 7.5. An 8.1. And a 6.6 for Pat Thomas. Poet doesn't know how he feels about his writing. wild, eclectic presence. Breathe your work. Immerse yourself in your new pieces. Great first time. Nice reading voice. Could be more personal. Okay? Like the flow, could use more something. Something needed, there needed more. Cliches aplenty. We have a score. What have you got for me, Kat?
After a very long time penalty, we have an 18.2.
We're going to do it in a second, but first, whenever we have a time penalty, this is just satisfying to me, especially when I've had a stressful week. You yell, fuck the time penalty on the count of 3. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Fuck the time penalty! Satisfied? Thank you for Vancouver being in the house. Appreciated it. So, we are almost out of our slam. The last vote of the round, Abe Becker, is on deck, but next up is Javier Zamora. Like he's donating organs to your grandmother.
Salvadoran Civil War, May 12, 1980, where thousands of Salvadoran insurgents floated. The Sumpul River's ripples drowned the shouts of the dead, shot somewhere, upstream, downstream, somewhere where their songs continue playing through insurgent radio wavelengths, where they last, whisper some derivation of the word Salvador, Savior, Salvation, Rescue. Nights still darken 1 minute after they're burdened to, remembering those shouting, those shouts, those shots, those sought out of hiding holes, those with whole boots, those hollowed by hollow points, the Sumpuls, shore, rippling, ripping, insurgent mothers, whispered prayers.
Do you have written words? Yes? No? Can you do that for me, please? Oh, you're good. You're good. I like that. Excellent. Yes, I do. I would love those. Thank you. So one of the things we're probably going to do later tonight is write a personals ad for Alex Crumsnatcher. Alex, are you still single?
Who? What?
Are you still single?
He's always looking for dick.
Why? Do you guys have any idea why this man is single? I don't. Not at all. Can any of you fix that for me, please, tonight? No? Do it tonight. Do it tonight. It's a good idea. I have an 8.8 for Javier Zamora. How do you feel about that? I have a 7.0. How do you feel about that? I have a 7.5. I have an 8.5. And I have an 8.7. Powerful. Finally, a clear poem. That was bitchy, yeah? Wait a minute. Surreal but strong. Love your command of the mic. Great use of volume for emphasis. Do you have a score? 24.7. And now, we have our last poet of the first round is coming to the stage. When he does, I need you to applaud for him like he is the Immaculate Conception child of the Pope. Whoa. Very unlikely, but kind of awesome. Unlikely, but awesome. Do you have that second sense? Ladies and gentlemen, clap loudly and enthusiastically for Abe Becker.
I clapped for you like you were a baby I actually wanted.
And then one sunny day, lost in the lost summer of my sprained foot, I got out of the minivan, where I stayed warm and resented my dad for being there and the air outside for its cold indifference to my need for inspiration in the absence of shivering. When an NPR segment was peaking, I interrupted our daily Afghanistan briefing. General, Dad, I'm going to the shore. I'm going to invade the toe tips of the waves in particular. And he asked me, does that mean you're going to write poetry? And he asked me to please don't forget your crutches. And without my jacket or the crutches, my whole body trembled as I limped down the path from where the cars parked to the real part of the beach where there should be sand. There were pebbles. Where the air had rattled the minivan's windows, there was water colder than any imagined problems. And against the cliff where I hobbled inside the churning wave whispering, I listened to my own breath asking me, why are you shivering? And realized the pebbles were warm beneath my corduroys, and I started making snow angels and sighing like a lost gull, and there was sun and the smell of horizon.
This is the end of round one. Judges, you gotta be way faster than you've been. I need your opinions right now. Oh, wow.
Oh my God, run!
One of the things we're going to do with this show is we're going to have a vote to see what kind of costume you want Alex to wear next time. Does anybody else want dinosaur?
Yeah!
That's how I feel. What about sad clown?
No!
Recently had a very intense... oh, thank you. Is that all of them?
Yes.
Well, look at you. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex from Center, my co-host. I have an 8.0 for A. Becker. How do you feel about that? I have a 7.9. A 7.1. Come on! An 8.5. And a 7.5. Fuck you! Great use of conversation. Great last line. Glad you got up there. Funny. Everyone enjoys the visual details. Not everyone. Y'all have weird handwriting. Nice voice. Is this the first time reading it? Do you have a score for me?
23.4!
A 23.4 for A. Becker. I thought the poet. The autograph. So that's our first round. My co-host, Kat Sanford, who I would like you to applaud when she comes to the stage because she's doing all the hard stuff tonight, all the math. She's going to come up with the order in just a second. But while we're waiting for that, let me tell you about the next month's show. So the Lit Slam is the third Monday of every month, as you all know. And next month we have Carrie Warala from Michigan coming to feature for us. She is an amazing poet out of the Stone Coast Writers Program, and she has a whole bunch of really freaky circus persona poems from the perspective of a tattooed lady and a sword swallower, and she's awesome. Does that sound exciting to you? Cool. I'm going to fly for you later. Ladies and gentlemen, Kat Sanford.
What up, Kat?
Hi.
So the order for the next round will be, in this order, Javier Zamora, Abe Becker, Carl L. Cesar, Sam Sachs, and Pat Thomas.